Bottom line, we don't have to worry about this one, right?
Well, obviously you need to take it seriously and do the kinds of things that the CDC and the Department of Homeland Security are doing. But this is not a major threat for the people in the United States, and this is not something that the citizens of the United States right now should be worried about.
So if you have a physical covering with one layer, you put another layer on, it just makes common sense that it likely would be more effective. And that's the reason why you see people either double masking or doing a version of an N95.
I can say as a public health official that I would urge the leaders, the local political and other leaders in states and cities and towns to be as forceful as possible in getting your citizenry to wear masks. Masks are important as part of the physical distance. Physical distancing is the most important, but practically when you're living your life and trying to open up the country, you are going to come into contact with people. And for that reason, we know that masks are really important and we should be using them, everyone.
Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks. Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
It might. I mean, if you really want perfect protection of your mucosal surfaces, just for your audience, Jen, as you very well know, you have mucosa in the nose, mucosa in the mouth, but you also have mucosa in the eye. And that's one of the things that, theoretically, you should protect all the mucosal surfaces. So if you have goggles or an eye shield, you should use it. I mean, it's not universally recommended, but if you really want to be complete, you should probably use it if you can. It's just that it's so easy for people to just make a cloth mask.
That even if you are vaccinated, it is recommended that you follow the public health recommendations of wearing a mask, staying distant, avoiding congregate settings and crowds, and washing your hands often. So you can get infected and have absolutely no symptoms, but you might have virus in your nasopharynx, even though you don't have any symptoms. So you want to make sure that you do something like wear a mask, like keep your distance, so you don't inadvertently infect someone else.
What about a month or so, or 2 or 3 ago, when people were saying, you don't really need to wear a mask? Well, the reason for that is that we were concerned, the public health community, and many people were saying this, were concerned that it was at a time when personal protective equipment, including the N95 masks and the surgical masks, were in very short supply. And we wanted to make sure that the people, namely the healthcare workers, who were brave enough to put themselves in harm's way to take care of people who were infected with the coronavirus and the danger of them getting infected, we did not want them to be without the equipment that they needed. So there was not enthusiasm about going out and everybody buying a mask or getting a mask. We were afraid that that would deter away from the people who really needed it.
When the camera's off, what does Fauci do? Pulls down the mask. It's all for show, people. He's installed as a puppet to tell you that we need a lockdown and this damn virus is going to kill you and control your livelihood. The rules don't apply to Fauci, our so-called nation's top physician.
I have so many questions to ask you, as you can imagine. But first off, it's been 24 hours since you got the Moderna vaccine. How are you feeling? Any side effects? Is your arm sore?
Well, I actually feel quite good. I do have a little bit of a sore arm. After the vaccination, it was about maybe 6 to 8 hours. I felt absolutely nothing. And then towards the late afternoon, I started to get soreness in the arm. This is very typical of vaccinations. The same thing happened with other non-COVID vaccines that I've had over the years. I felt a little bit achy, but nothing to be bothering or distracting me. Went to bed last night, had a good night's sleep, Woke up this morning. The only thing I have is just a little bit of a soreness in the arm. Otherwise, I'm doing really well.
Okay. Me_forever asked, is it true that the vaccine will alter a person's DNA?
It is absolutely untrue.
Okay, I figured that.
So right now the ship is actually headed to the Canary Islands, Pat. The ETA is May 11th. And weird, what's 11th? May 11th, Rob? That's the day that Fauci's deadline for his 5-year, what's it called? Statute of limitations for him.
Rob, your audio is off.
Yeah, yeah.
Your
So
mic
meanwhile,
is off.
passengers have already left the ship. Guys, this is what drives me crazy. They've been dropping passengers off left and right. They're scattered all over the place in different countries, thinking that they're fine. And mind you, it takes 8 weeks, Pat, up to 8 weeks for this to actually give you some symptoms. And
They say.
Yeah,
They
they
say.
say. In 2022, Pat, a guy or an account called Soothsayer posted this. He posted, in 2022, he posted this. 2023, Corona ended. 2026, hantavirus. This is in 1:30 in the morning. Maybe he had maybe Fauci was visiting him or something. June 11th in 2022, he posted that. And this is the problem, Pat. After COVID.
Wait, who tweeted that?
So a guy named Soothsayer. Might be a guy, might be a girl. He did that in 2022.
Oh, he gets wide coverage. Look at the stats there.
Z.
Go on his account, Rob, just to see if he's done other things. Okay, he's 59,400. Who is he?
I don't even know.
Reads the future? What? Go back to the tweet.
Pat, he's an astrologist, so you know everything he says is accurate.
So 2023, Corona ended. He posted that on June 11, 2022 at 1:30 a.m. And in 2026, he says antivirus is going to come.
Yeah.
Is that Fauci's burner account?
Or Bill Gates. Yeah. And it's just, and this is what it is, Pat. And this is the scary thing, or not the scary, it's the sad thing, kind of combined of both. They screwed with us so much. They did so much damage, and we're going to get to Fauci. Even if this is real, we don't believe you. Okay? You have lost your credibility, every single one of you. When you silence people like Peter McCullough, when you silence people like, who was the other guy, Rob, with the beard?
Robert Malone.
Robert Malone. These are people that were telling us, like, guys, this is what's happening. Early detection. We can help all you people. They lied. They censored people. They kicked people off of YouTube. They try to lock people up because of this. And it's absolutely like blindly trusting the WHO. And there's a great clip. Pat, can I just touch on Fauci really fast?
Yeah, for sure.
Fauci, May 11th, weird, when the ship is about to dock. It's coming up on his 5-year statute of limitation. This is what I want people to understand about Mr. Fauci. And Peter McCullough says why he needs to get locked up and the crimes, the 2 major crimes. And if you're out there and you're listening, you have family members that passed away, couldn't see family members when they died, or you're dealing with a family member, potentially a young son of yours, or a cousin, or a nephew, that has freaking myocarditis, it's because of him. Okay, so Rob, please play this Sage clip with Dr. McCullough.
So girl Sage Steele.
Anthony Fauci right now today. I would say that a man who seeks 10 years of clemency.
He asked for it, Pat.
Which he did, by the way, to get a pardon. It's not handed out without a request.
He asked for it.
He approached Biden for 10 years pardon for crimes he knew he committed.
Bingo.
He knew he committed. That's the reason why he asked for clemency. I would tell him, listen, the world understands that Fauci has committed 2 crimes.
Here we go.
One is fraudulent concealment. He intentionally concealed the origins of SARS-CoV-2 from his funded projects in Wuhan. It's fraudulent concealment. If we would have known what the story was originally, I think we could have done better in our pandemic response. And the second major crime I think he committed is mass negligent homicide by 2 mechanisms. 2 mechanisms. First, he worked to suppress our efforts at publishing and promulgating early treatment protocols, which worked to get people through the illness. And secondly, he relentlessly promoted unsafe vaccines that took hundreds of thousands of American lives and millions of lives worldwide. It's been the greatest biological catastrophe mankind has ever seen. And largely, Fauci is responsible for orchestrating this on the world.
And by the way, you heard what he said, Pat? So fraudulent concealment. Guys, when everybody was like, bat, wet market, he knew where it came from. He knew exactly where it came from, and he lied, so he like stifled everybody's investigations and to try to find the origin. And number 2, he said mass negligent homicide. And it drives me crazy. All these people, all these Democrats at home, all the leftists, you could do a stupid No Kings protest that doesn't do nothing. Here you have proof from actual doctors, actual virologists, all these people, where's your mass negligent homicide protest? No, I'm being dead serious. Where's the outrage? It's just Trump, King nonsense. I think, Pat, this should be the #1 story. Millions worldwide and hundreds of thousands of Americans and nothing. And there's no protest and no caring about it. It drives me bananas because I almost got duped into taking this thing, which I know would have killed me, to do stand-up comedy in a different, Canada wouldn't let me come unless like, no, you have to get vaccinated. And
in an interview that you gave as part of an audiobook written by Michael Spector, that you believed an institutional should make it hard for people to live their lives so they'd feel pressured to get vaccinated. Could we run the audio clip on that, please?
Do you think can be done about it? I have to say that I don't see a big solution other than some sort of mandatory vaccination. I know federal officials don't like to use that term.
Once people feel empowered and protected legally, you are going to have schools, universities, and colleges are going to say, you want to come to this college, buddy? You're going to get vaccinated. Lady, you're going to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Big corporations like Amazon and Facebook and all of those others are going to say, you want to work for us, you get vaccinated. And it's been proven that when you make it difficult for people in their lives, they lose their ideological bullshit and they get vaccinated.
Thank you. Are all objections to COVID vaccinations ideological bullshit, Dr. Fauci?
No, they're not, and that's not what I was referring to.
Well, in reference to making it hard for people to get education, traveling, working, I'd say it very much was in context. And I take great offense to this. Miss Allison Williams testified before this committee about losing her job because she sought an exemption for ESPN's vaccine mandate, which came from recommendations from bureaucrats like yourself. She and her husband were actively working with a fertility expert, a physician, on how to get pregnant, and agreed with the premise that she was young, healthy, wanted to get pregnant, and shouldn't get the vaccination for medical purposes. But she was fired because you made it hard, just like you said in your statement, because you didn't want to make sure that the ideological bullshit got in the way of her working, of living her life, of making a medical decision with her healthcare professional. I think America should take great offense to this. That's exactly what you meant when you said making it hard for people to live without getting a vaccination. You affected people's ability to work, travel, be educated, to actually flourish in American society, to self-determine, as we're all given God-given rights. Shame on you. Dr. Fauci, you've become Dr. Fear. Americans do not hate science. I don't hate science. The American people hate having their freedoms taken from them. You inspired and created fear through mass mandates, school closures, vaccine mandates that have destroyed the American people's trust in our public health institutions. This fear you created will continue to have ripple effects over generations to come. You have already seen its effects in education, in the economy, and everything else. Quite frankly, you said, if you disagree with me, you disagree with science. Dr. Fauci, I disagree with you because I disagree with fear. And with that, I yield.
What you mean by that? What you mean by that, big boss? We're supposed to return to the spotlight to address that new virus. Guys, maybe time to start wearing masks again and maintaining social distance. What you mean by that, big boss? Like, you ain't got no curry or nothing? Like, y'all, I got nothing. Yo, weak ass medical, weak ass United States niggas, fuck y'all niggas up. Anyways, fuck does this nigga mean? We better go to another